Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock. Banners with People Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. And ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. Hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday. Flash flood warnings around parts of South Louisiana and Southwest Mississippi as well. So if you are out there in the weather today, man, be careful and buckle up, headlights on, wipers on, all that stuff, drive safely. All right, the news that was a poorly kept secret was reported on Tuesday, although LSU's yet to formally announce it. It's been widely reported. Joe Sloan, Cortez Hankton will be named Co-OCs, which I've been telling you that for weeks now. You probably know how I feel about it, but I'll just kind of recap for those who haven't heard my take on it. In a vacuum, I really like it. I look at Hankton as a guy who the players respect tremendously. He played in the NFL. He has risen the ranks from Dartmouth to Vanderbilt to Georgia, left Georgia after they won the national championship, came to LSU, and did so because LSU made him passing game coordinator, paid him more money, got him closer to home, gave him a path, an upward trajectory, a path for advancement, and here it is. So good on Brian Kelly for making good on that. And Hankton's a smart guy who played in the league, has been where these guys want to go, and has developed receivers. That's undeniable. Look at Malik Neighbors. Look at Brian Thomas. Undeniable what Hankton's been able to do there in recruiting, developing that position. So I'm totally good with Hankton getting the promotion. Joe Sloan, 38 years old. Started as a GA at East Carolina, went to South Florida, joined Skip Holtz at Louisiana Tech, was there for 9 years, rose the ranks from position coach to the offensive coordinator the last 3 years he was at Tech, but he only called plays for 1 year at Tech. Then he left the OC job at the G5 level to become a position coach at the Power 5 level, which may seem like a demotion, but again, it's how you climb the rungs of the ladder. So got to LSU as the quarterbacks coach, helps develop Jaden Daniels, great relationship with Nussmeier, called plays in the bowl game. LSU put up 500 yards and 35 points. And now he's taken that next step as LSU's offensive coordinator and play caller. So in a vacuum, I like it. I like both guys a lot. I like both of them. I'm good with them getting the promotion. I think Joe Sloan will do a great job calling plays. We saw in the bowl game that he was certainly capable. The question is it worth the risk? And some of that is just, so I said, in a vacuum, I like it, but it's impossible to ignore the context, which is, I've seen this before and it didn't work out, which was 2008, LSU, Les Miles, Bo Pelini, after LSU wins the national championship, goes to Nebraska to be the head coach. Les Miles promotes from within. Bradley Del Pivito, Doug Mallory become co-defensive coordinators, and it was a disaster. And after 1 year, they were fired, and they went with the more stable, established, proven guy in John Chavis. And then in 2021, Ed Ogeron, after Steve Ensminger retired, again, a veteran assistant play caller with many years' experience, i.e. Mike Denbrock, Ensminger retires, and they went and hired Jake Peets, the young offensive guy who had never called plays. Now, that's the difference. Sloan did call plays for 1 year at Tech, but that didn't work in 2021. Now, you could also say, they were young at quarterback. You had Max Johnson that season for the bulk of the season. Nuss got the start late in the year against Arkansas, or didn't start, but relieved Max and didn't play so well. But anyway, I guess the point is, in a vacuum, I love the hire. Big picture, I think there is reason to realize, hey, look, you're taking a risk. You are taking a risk. Like, you could have, if you're Brian Kelly, gone outside and done what you did with Denbrock. You could have gone and gotten someone that's got 20 years experience as a play caller at the Power 5 level. You're LSU. You certainly are desirable and could have done that. But he decided to go a different route. So the question comes to, do you like the guys that he chose? Check. And do you trust Brian Kelly to make good hires? I do. And I know we could certainly look at the Matt House decision, Steeples and Cooks not hiring a full-time special teams coordinator, and say, true, but he also hired Mike Denbrock. He hired Joe Sloan. He hired Cortez Hankton. He hired, Frank Wilson. I don't think there's anybody objecting to the additions of of Bo Davis. He retained Brad Davis. So, look, Brian Kelly's got a long history of making good coaching hires over 4 decades as a head coach, parts of 4 decades as a head coach. And he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And the 2 guys that he promoted are worthy of a promotion. It's just there's an unknown there, and that element is risky. So we will wait and see how it plays out. But again, Sloan gets credit for helping develop Jaden Daniels the last 2 years, has a great relationship with Nussmeier, which Nuss has talked about on the record, is the guy who was the primary recruiter on Bryce Underwood. So there is a lot to like about Joe Sloan. And I'm excited, and just candidly, I'm excited for him. I don't know Joe great, but I've gotten to know him a little bit, and I like the guy a lot, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him to have this opportunity, and I think he's going to crush it. And he's going to be one of those guys that you look forward after 2, 3, 4 years as LSU's offensive coordinator is going to make that jump to being a head coach. So, all right, let's say some good mornings here. You know the drill. Fire away if you got questions. We'll talk about whatever you got. Basketball Tigers tonight against Georgia in Athens. Pels, a franchise record 153 points last night, the win over the Jazz. What a bounce back after the embarrassment on Friday night against the Suns, where you let Devin Booker score 52. Pels come back and score 153, a franchise record. They used the 3 nights off. Clearly, and they were ready to roll last night, which was awesome. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. Jacob Thompson, Adam Parker, Jeff Hawk. Good morning, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Make defense great again. Morning, Matt. What do you think of Kiffin constantly throwing shade at LSU on X? I think Kiffin constantly throws shade at everybody on X. It's one of the things that makes him the personality that he is. Whenever it was LSU Bama game day and he was doing the interview live on College game day, in the stadium, he had an 11 a.m. kickoff, and he said, yeah, they told me I'm supposed to be cheering for LSU tonight, so go Tigers. Everybody loved that, didn't they? So, I mean, it's just with Kiffin, you laugh when he's not taking shots at you and he's taking shots at someone else. When you take shots at you, you just say, oh, that's Kiffin. Juan, good morning. Is Slade Nagel going to be the tight ends coach? He's local here in NOLA and a good dude. So, Juan, I've told you there's 2 names, and I haven't heard anyone other than these 2 names. So, Slade Nagel was the first name I heard. For those that don't know, Slade Nagel was the tight ends coach at Tulane this past year. Fritz did not take him with him to Houston. Slade Nagel is one, and the other is John McNulty. McNulty is a veteran coach who was Brian Kelly's tight ends coach at Notre Dame in 2020 and 2021. Obviously did not bring McNulty with him to Baton Rouge because he hired Mike Denbrock, and Denbrock was his OC and also coached tight ends. So McNulty was an analyst at Bama this past year. So those are the 2 names I've heard, either Slade Nagel or John McNulty. It's going to be one of those guys. I don't know which. Wendell Norman, James McKinney, hey, Dad, good morning. Larry Garner, Jason Mobile, anywhere from Ocho. Jason, I need to tweet at him. I don't have his phone number or anything, so I need to tweet the final graphic and everything, and I haven't done that, and that's on me. And I actually yesterday did go back and search. I was doing it again this morning. I was searching through Twitter trying to find the original agreement tweet. I know I had screenshotted it. Well, I can't find it on my phone either, so I'm trying to find that so I can put together a post to reach out to him. Brian Wynn, June saying, morning, Matt. Has anyone ever called you Thew, like the second part of Matthew? No. No one's ever called me Thew. No. Damon Gilmore, Matt Plavidal. I'll be getting soaked today on my route. Hashtag post office. God bless you, Matt. What's the old thing, whether rain or sun or shine or snow or sleet or whatever it is about the post office? Always deliver, man. Stay safe out there today, Matt. Christian, good morning. Pelicans are who the Saints wish they were. Cajun Country, what up, man? Stay dry to jab in the catch Will Wade the other night. One more coach for LSU, tight end recruiting coordinator. So Will Wade, I guess you're talking about McNeese beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Pretty dramatic ending there. I did, and I understand, but we can't keep having the Will Wade conversation. I mean, I don't know any other way to say this. We've had the conversation for a couple of years now. Like, the NCAA dragged that thing out for 4 years because they wanted their pound of flesh with Wade. And they continue to drag out the LSU football investigation, and they held football over LSU's head until they got their pound of flesh with Wade. So what would you have done? The NCAA is threatening to hammer football unless they get their pound of flesh with Will Wade. You going to sacrifice LSU football to keep Will Wade as your basketball coach? Come on. Like, and you're never going to find a record of that because nobody's going to talk about that on the record, of course. But sometimes that's how deals are done. William Moore, Mr. Kwashi Rose, good morning. Trivia Carter, Zach Swan, Tiger Diver, morning. On the Handycast, Charlie mentioned LSU might be looking at Dana Holgerson for an analyst role. Any truth to that? I haven't asked, but I don't know, maybe. I mean, my feeling on analysts all the time is, and support staff, you can have an unlimited amount of them. So if they make you 1% better, great. If you're willing to invest the resources into it. So if LSU is willing to invest the resources into analysts and they make you 1% better and you can afford it, that's the difference between the haves and the have-nots. So, sure. Kelly Groves, Jason Horn, what kicks are we going with today? I got my 11, the Comfort patent leather cherry reds, 11s. God dog it. There we go. There it is. Got a big foot. Yeah. Quentin Breakbill, Charlie Cavell, what up, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Brian Broom, Brandon Hoyt, Brant Roban, morning Scone, Texas, Georgia, best odds making playoffs from the SEC in 2024. Ole Miss, LSU, maybe. You can look at here's your 2025 dag nabbit. There we go. All right, here you go. Georgia plus 330, Ohio State plus 500, Texas plus 750, Alabama plus 1100, Oregon, Michigan, LSU plus 1200. So Oregon, Michigan, LSU all have the same odds. Ole Miss plus 1500. So even with their portal class, LSU still with better championship odds than Ole Miss. So yeah, so Georgia, Texas, Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. And then Missouri at plus 3,000, A&M at plus 3,500, Tennessee plus 3,500, Oklahoma plus 4,000. There you go. Barry Jocelyn, good morning. Brennan Huff, James Avery, Tim Gotro, Ryan Pike going to the Astros College Classic in Houston, LSU, Texas, Friday night. Looking forward to that, man. We may make that trip. I haven't talked to Erica about it, but that's an easy trip to jet over to Houston, and I think I may like to do that. Kind of have just a quick weekend getaway, watch some ball. See some of our friends in Houston. A lot of Drew's nurses and doctors, and a lot of our friends from Houston. It would be great to be able to jet over there and see them. So we might make that happen. Brett DeGrow, Ryan Stadler, morning, Matt. Honestly, think with hires and the offensive talent, defensive hires, the team will balance out and make up the loss of Denbrock and bad defense last year. Well, if you balance out, then you're still what you were, right? You're just saying like, okay, you'll balance out you won't be as good offensively, but you won't be as bad defensively. So it might look differently, but the result will be the same, which might make sense. I don't think that's exactly what you're saying, but that's probably something that makes sense. Is you're looking at I don't know, man. With that schedule, I just realistically don't know that I see LSU being like a, at an 11-1, 12-0 type team. My hope is they find a way to scrap and claw and get to 10-2 and find a way in the playoff. That's what I would love to see. Keep getting better throughout the year. Go 10-2, make the playoff, and then take your swing in the playoff to see if you can be playing your best football at the right time. It's the beauty of a playoff, man. You're allowed to improve as the season goes along. Lawrence Burley, good morning, Drew and Uncle Scone. Taylor Hudson, Dalton Barnett, Gary Petrie, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Landon Weber, morning, Matt. Do you think there's any way Dennis Allen can still lose his job, even if the new OC comes in and does well? At the end of the day, I still don't think he has the team's respect. I'm sorry, do you think, could he lose his job this year? No. He'll be back for this coming season. Could he be fired after the 2024 season? Yes, I think that's a possibility. Alan Black, good morning, Bailey C. I remember you weren't a shoe guy. Was it the Air Force Ones? It was for me. It was, Bailey. Last year on Christmas, Erica got me a pair of blue and white Air Force Ones. And from the second I put them on, I was hooked. I was like, okay, I get it. I got it instantly. I got sneaker culture. I was like, I need to learn more. What other styles are there? What's hot? What apps are there? And just boom, 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 boom. Fell down the rabbit hole, man. Tremaine, good morning. Coming through loud and clear and concise. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Cliff said, moving in next to the person with 7 cats, LFG team Drew. So, I'm having too much fun on Twitter, y'all. I'm having too much fun with the Bama fans. They have directed all of their obsession toward me now. And I'm not saying it's every Alabama fan, but it's a large chunk of them on Twitter. It's just my Twitter mentions are just flooded with Alabama fans all day. Anytime they get a recruit to visit, anytime anything positive is said about the program, they're all tagging me. So yesterday, there's a guy named Dave Bartu, who's a regular on Chuck Oliver's show. He has a business called CFB Matrix. He basically came up with a formula, it's statistical analysis to rate or grade coaches and head coaches, coordinators, position coaches, etc. And so a lot of, he says, I don't know, but it's a lot of different athletic departments will hire him when they're going through the hiring process to see, what recommendations he has and grades and sort of stuff like that. Well, Ryan Fowler, who does radio in Tuscaloosa, who I like Ryan a lot. I've known Ryan a long time. But boy, he is quintessential Bama, right? I mean, big long beard, real heavy Southern accent, Bama grad, but good dude. I genuinely like Ryan Fowler a lot. Good man, good husband, good father. I've met his wife, like good dude. But he is the definition of the fan in the media, right? And so Ryan tweets, Dave Bartu did it again and basically says, like, he's got Kalen DeBoer's staff as the highest rated coaching staff, in the country, blah, blah, whatever. And so the Bammers start tweeting that at me. And one guy is like, at Matt Moscona is sad right now. No, I'm sorry. And then he said, Matt paid his rent today, rent's due again tomorrow. Basically saying we're living rent free in your head is, that's what it was. Cause so Fowler tweets that, people start adding me. I reply, like they used to, 2 weeks ago, they celebrated natties. Now they're celebrating some guy's computer metrics saying they have the best coaching staff in the country, how the mighty have fallen. I'm like laughing. And so then somebody goes, a Bama fan goes and replies and is like, Matt paid his rent today, rent's due again, basically saying that they're living rent free in my head. Which doesn't make sense, because if you're living rent free, then why would I be paying? It doesn't. He got it backwards. So I reply to him and I go, "Oh, a metaphor. Fun. I'll play. You're in foreclosure. They're repossessing everything you own. And soon you'll be living in a duplex next to Carl and his 7 cats." That's what Cliff's alluding to. You don't want to get into a verbal battle with me when my background is English literature, writing, reading comprehension. You don't want to get into a battle with me on Twitter. Like, I'm just going to make you look dumb. I am good at what I do to begin with, and then on that playground where most people are, let's just say, maybe not the most creative, don't have the best grammar, best skills, writing, creativity, I'm probably going to do okay head to head on a lot of people on Twitter. It was a lot of fun. Okay, please smash the like button. Drew's backpack's beeping. Hang on one second. Be right back. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Right. Please smash that like button if you would. YouTube, subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscone page, share the post. As always, shout out to Brock. Hey, thanks to everybody who has gone there in Tangipahoa. To the Brock clinic there in Hammond. Appreciate that greatly. Of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I mean, storm and rain. When it rains, Hudco's phones ring all day. So if you have an issue with your roof, maybe you, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, a coworker, let them know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Brad David, do you know why Handycast is never live on YouTube? Yeah, because Charles and, well, Handycast is a podcast, but Charles and Jimmy don't do their show because they're on the remote every day and they don't, they're old school and technology scares them. And so trying to stream video is something that frazzles them. And so I'm working on a solution. It's one of my 2 biggest priorities for their show this year is to find a video solution. Jonathan O, Scone, meetup cocktail hour in Houston. I'm down. I'm definitely down for that, Jonathan. I'll tell you, I'll probably, like I'm a Marriott Bonvoy member, so if the hotel's not booked, I'll probably stay right there at the Westin downtown, directly across the street from Minute Maid. Great spot with a huge lobby bar as well. Like I'm down to do something there, or if there's, or like Little Woodrow's or something like that, or something around Minute Maid. I'm definitely down for that if we end up going. Antron, good morning. Can't wait for the big Thursday night. Go Tigers. Yeah, man. LSU women against South Carolina, top 10 matchup. Thursday night at the PMAC. By the way, we are doing our watch party. Confirmed this yesterday. Pluckers, Nicholson for LSU, South Carolina. We will have Hudco hats. Our friends over at Mockler, I talked to them yesterday. I've got tons. They got some really cool LSU swag. So I'll be giving that away as well. and they have the women's basketball national championship koozies that they did. So y'all have seen like the collector. We've been talking about like the collector Bud Light aluminum cans, the aluminum bottles, I should say. The tall 16 ounce with the national championship logo on it. And it's like the first women's basketball team ever to have their own beer can, to the best of anyone's knowledge. So. And so anyway, Mockler did a whole bunch of koozies with the logo on it and everything. So we'll be giving those away. So Pluckers Nicholson watch party for LSU South Carolina, Thursday, 7 o'clock tip. If you can't be in the PMAC, come join us over at Pluckers. ML Fody, every time I see an Alabama fan crying, I think of Adam Driver Moore meme. The Adam Driver Moore meme? I don't know what the Adam Driver Moore meme is. I've probably seen it. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure who Adam Driver is. Sorry. Brendan Huff, any chance we get Scone and T back? Yeah, man, I would love to do that. That's just going to be the right circumstance because, especially to do it live in the evening, we had to do it on location to justify it, to justify the cost and the expense and the time. So we would need someone to host us, sponsor it, right, and host us. But it just hasn't been something that T-Bob and I have pushed really hard. Shelby, good morning. Pat Huseman. Matt's a beast at the comeback. Johnny Goodson, Gorilla. Does anybody know how Greg Brooks is doing? Gorilla. Would somebody please text me on my show text line? 225-396-4400, 396-4400, and just remind me to ask about Greg Brooks. I will. It's just we finish here. I go about my day, and then I forget to follow up. So I'm happy to do so if someone would just remind me. Chewalt One, what's up? Brian Wynn, Matt, I believe Carl and his 7 cats are Auburn fans at the duplex, and it's painted in the Auburn color scheme. Cliff, Colby and I will definitely meet you in Houston. By the way, cousin came through with tickets, so I'll be at the game, but we'll come by Pluckers before. What time are you getting there? Cliff, probably, if you're going to the game, just go to the game, man. Because I get off air at 6, right? So I get off air at 6. I do all our post-production. I usually jet out of there about I usually am walking out the building at 6:35, 6:40. So I'm probably going to be getting to Pluckers 10, 15 minutes for tip. So it's all good, man. But would love to see anybody who can make it. If you're not going to the LSU South Carolina game on Thursday, I'll be at Pluckers Nicholson for a watch party. Y'all come hang out. We'll have tons of swag to give away. I'll have 104.5 ESPN hats and other stuff to give away. So just come hang out for the watch party, and can't be in the arena. Let's have some fun. Blanche Hudson, I'm amazed at the hate that Uncle Brian garnishes. Yesterday I saw someone say the Heupel-Freeze DeBoer are better coaches. Inconsistent, is not at a 10-win season, never coached in the SEC. Talking about DeBoer. The interesting thing about DeBoer is, I would even say until 2 months ago, the majority of the college football loving world didn't even know who Kalen DeBoer was, because he was a relatively unknown. Small school that went to Fresno State. Nobody knew who he was at Fresno State. Got the Washington job and was there such a short amount of time. He just broke through this year and became sort of on everybody's radar. But the thing, I think Kalen DeBoer is a good coach, clearly. He's won at all the places he's been. But the other thing, too, is while this was a magnificent season for Washington, and I'm not doubting or minimizing that at all, I think people sometimes forget Washington was a breath away from losing 3 times this year. The Oregon game, the first time, they won at 36-33, but we all know how that transpired. Oregon had their shot. Oregon outgained them, really outplayed them, but you give Washington credit. They won the game, but very easily could have lost that one. They beat Arizona State 15-7, and Arizona State was terrible. The Oregon State game, they won 22-20. The Apple Cup, they needed a walk-off field goal at the end to win it. They darn near gagged away the Texas game. They blew the Texas game at the end and then got blown out by Michigan. So my point is, credit them for being 14-0. Tremendous team, resilience. Sometimes you know how to win. That's invaluable. But just consider what our perception or perspective on Kalen DeBoer would be if the kid doesn't make the field goal against Washington State. If they don't have the comeback against Oregon. Now they did. So like you credit them for that. But just think about the margin, like how close they were to being a 10-2, 9-3 football team this year. And if they're 10-2, 9-3, he ain't the coach at Alabama. So, anyway, Michael Guidry, Bubba Smith, Rocky Killian, what's going on? It is 8:01. All right, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. Shout out to Brock, Hudco, Restored Motions, and ProCharge. We appreciate everybody for watching every single day. LSU Daily is live, so if you would, please, on your favorite podcast app, just go search LSU Daily and subscribe to the pod. I'd appreciate it greatly. And we'll see you for AFR 3. Peace.